All right, good evening. This is meteorologist Colleen Peterson. Thank you for your patience. If you're tuning in on our Facebook Live, we want to make sure that we're streaming on our app and all platforms. We are watching, and I am waiting for that convection to start popping off on that radar right around Missouri. I think that is what's going to head our way overnight tonight. So yes, it is still quiet. I think that main event is going to be around 2 o'clock in the morning till 8 a.m. So we're talking about the potential of a tornado watch issued. They like to wait until we can visibly see that convection starting to fire up off to the west. Once that happens, they'll go ahead and issue that tornado watch. So we might not get that tornado watch issued even as late as midnight until we start seeing those thunderstorms having that capability of producing tornadoes as well as some strong damaging winds out there. So yes, we are under an enhanced risk of seeing some strong to severe storms out there. If you're tuning in now, comment where you're from. I have the Facebook page pulled up, so I will be answering questions. And if you have questions about where you live, the kind of impacts that you'll have, go ahead and feel free to comment. But first, we're going to talk about that radar. I want to do some radar analysis because this is what I've been watching here. So if we go ahead and take the graphic full screen, I am watching over central Missouri of seeing those stronger storms starting to fire up. So Kansas City, right around Kansas City, those storms are starting to fire up west of Illinois. So I am going to highlight it. What we see here starting to develop is going to continue because conditions are very favorable over Illinois, over Kentucky, over Indiana. We have some sunshine, we have some strong wind gusts, we have a lot of instability. All of the ingredients are there to see some strong to severe storms. So that is what the area that we are going to be watching. So actually the storms that we are going to see later into the night and early tomorrow morning haven't necessarily developed yet. That's that target area of seeing those storms started to rapid fire develop, starting to develop as we head towards overnight tonight through tomorrow morning. So let's go ahead and walk you through that forecast model. Once we head towards tomorrow morning, we'll start to see the storms fire up right around 10 p.m. So 10 o'clock tonight, that's in about 20 minutes. It is lagging behind. It is still possible to see a few isolated thunderstorms fire up into southern Indiana. Once we head towards 2 o'clock in the morning, I think that is our window of seeing the stronger to severe storms here across Kentuckiana. So wind gusts around 70 miles per hour are possible. Strong tornadoes are possible as well as some large hail. So by the time we head towards 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, that is when we'll start to see the worst of it here in Jefferson County. So if you live in Litchfield, Hardinsburg, Louisville, areas in Shelby County to Newcastle, this is that time window from you. For 3 o'clock in the morning till 6 o'clock, that is when that line is going to cross, develop, and this is that opportunity for it to maybe develop into a tornado here or there right along this line. So if I go ahead and draw out where we could potentially see, this is not exactly where, but along this line, we get some rotation along it. If we have some strong south winds, a lot of wind shear, that is along the line where we could potentially see it strengthen, drop a tornado, then weaken, and then re-strengthen again. So we could see numerous tornado warnings from this system. Just the fact that it's one line that's continuing to produce, strengthen, weaken as it moves across our area. If you're familiar with weather around here, this is very typical spring-like weather. And it's only the end of February. I mean, we are getting close to the beginning of March. I guess we can say this system marks the beginning of severe weather season. So by 5, 6 o'clock in the morning from Munfordville to Bardstown, those are the areas where you could see the worst of the weather. So later into the night and earlier into the morning around E-Town and Bardstown, that is where we could see the worst of the weather. Once we head towards 8 o'clock, it will start to weaken. Once we head towards tomorrow morning, we'll start to see some scattered showers and maybe some lingering thunder, but for the most part, it's just going to be rain. Once that cold air starts to rush in, we are going to see it start to filter out. The stronger winds are going to start to die down, and we'll start to see it come to an end for the risk of seeing those stronger storms. So by 9 o'clock in the morning, all those storms will be gone, and then we'll really clear out with the rest of the rain. I mean, some models even show the chance of seeing an isolated flurry right around 11 o'clock in the morning. Into the afternoon, We have some sunshine and a very cold snap that we have in store for everyone here. Once we head towards the afternoon, temperatures will be cooling off to the 40s and then the upper 30s. It is going to be some cold weather that we have here. So breaking down those impacts that we have, it's mainly going to be stronger wind gusts, 70 miles per hour or greater in some of those severe storms. If we happen to see some rotation, then we could see a tornado that has that potential of being strong. So yes, definitely want to talk to your family members. I know it's getting late here, so before you go to bed, or maybe your kids are already in bed, just make sure you have the shoes ready, the flashlight, some water if you need to go to the basement, and have multiple ways to receive warnings because, again, this is an overnight threat. So severe weather threat at night, you definitely need to have multiple ways to receive warnings. This is an overnight event from 2 o'clock in the morning till right around 6 o'clock in the morning. It is going to be overnight late one. So please have multiple ways to stay safe. It is going to be a long night ahead, but we have a full team of meteorologists here. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up the radar here. You can see it's pretty quiet so far. We haven't seen much activity. In fact, the activity is all the way over into Missouri. So we're not really seeing much of it just yet. In fact, across Missouri, they aren't as well. So once it crosses past Springfield, St. Louis, it starts the interstate of Kentucky. I think that is the area right over the Ohio River and Mississippi River is where it's going to start to fire up. So I'm going to go ahead and read through some of the comments. Kelly says, show us a line again. Multiple people are saying, show the line again. Some people are saying, we can't see you. Oh, we got it fixed. Okay, sorry, there was some technical issues. So we are going to go back and show the line again. So sorry about that, the technical issues. Let's go ahead and talk about it. I see your frustration and we're going to cover it for you because this is potentially a significant event. Going over that tornado watch, it is possible to see a tornado watch issued by the time we head towards maybe midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning when that convection starts to fire up. So I'm not really seeing it likely to see anything over this next hour, so I think right around 11:30 midnight we might see a lone thunderstorm starting to make its way over, but for the most part we're going to stay mostly quiet until right around 3:30 in the morning. This is that latest update. If we happen to get anything severe, it is going to be from this window and the top right of your screen. I simplified it for you, 2 o'clock in the morning till 9 o'clock. Those are all those impacts. Let's go ahead and time out which communities first. So earlier on that time period, around 2, 3 o'clock, it's going to be Tell City, Paoli, Jasper, Bedford, and Seymour. Your communities are going to be the first at getting this storm. Now look at this line. As I press forward, it really starts to develop as it crosses the metro. We don't like to see this. Yes, we have ingredients favorable to feed this line energy, meaning our atmosphere, it is unstable, it is ready for that line, and it's only going to contribute to strengthen it. So right around 3 to 6 o'clock in the morning, I think that's that window that we need to be aware. Maybe set your alarm if you're a little nervous before going to bed. Set it for 4 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, just to check up with us and see what's going on, because it's always good to stay on top of the weather, especially when it could be a stronger line. So when we get a line like this, we start to get some rotating right along the storm. I call them kinks along this squall line. That could produce a few different tornadoes right along the line. And the thing about these tornadoes, it's going to drop and then lift again, and then drop and then lift again. It's one of those events where you have warning after warning after warning if it happens. I'm not saying it's guaranteed. This is just a potential that could happen here. So that's the kind of tornado threat that we have here. It would be short-lived, but also it could drop multiple times, if that makes sense. So it could produce some strong tornadoes. It could produce some damage. I think it's very possible that we get some damage reports tomorrow morning. I hope that's not the case, but as long as you're taking the precautions and you head to the lower interior portion of your house, if you are under that tornado warning, you'll be okay. Large hail possible around 2 inches in diameter, so it is going to be large hail as well. So make sure to put those cars indoors because it could be a damaging as well. So by the time we head towards 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, I think that's going to be the all clear for Louisville. By the time we head towards 6, 7 o'clock, that will be around E-Town and Bardstown. Now the thing about this line, it is going to start to weaken then after sunrise. So areas south of Campbellsville, you're under a level 1 out of 5 risk. So your risk is very minimal if you live in those communities. If you live in Bardstown, E-Town, those areas, I would say it's a low to medium risk for seeing some stronger storms, which is a level 2 out of 5. And if you live the rest of the area highlighted that I'm circling here, it is a level 3 out of 5. Oh, I cannot draw a level 3. I thought I would be able to do it, but I can't. It's a level 3 out of 5, which is a heightened risk, which it is possible to see a strong tornado, large hail, and some wind gusts out there. So that's that forecast model. By the time we head towards 11 o'clock, we'll have some lingering precipitation from 8 to 11, and then we'll start to clear out as we head towards the afternoon with temperatures cooling off into the 40s and 30s, and then we'll have some sunshine and very cold temperatures. It is going to be a cold snap for us. Temperatures in the 30s and 40s with wind chills in the 30s. Campbellsburg is not under a high risk. Campbellsville is under a lower risk. So the farther south you go in Kentucky, the less of a risk that you have. Okay, I'm glad you guys were able to see it again. I'm not sure what happened there with the screen, but reading through the comments now, if you have any other questions, people are asking Scottsburg, Bullitt County, and Hillview. Again, all the same for Scottsburg, Bullitt County, and Hillview. It's right around 3 o'clock to 6 o'clock for you guys of seeing that strong to severe line. I think it's more likely areas farther south of Scottsburg, but you're not in the clear. You're still under a level 3 out of 5 and likely going to be put under this tornado watch. So areas highlighted in orange on the map, you are under a level 3, which it's not 4 or 5. It is not likely to happen, but it is possible. I'm going to repeat that. It is not likely that we're going to see tornadoes. It is possible. There is a huge difference between a level 3, a level 4, and a level 5. We have the ingredients. It could happen, but it's not likely going to happen. It is possible that we could see a tornado embedded in that line, and it could produce tornadoes. So that's the kind of risk that we're under. We haven't been under a level 3, I feel like, in a year. I think this is that first big season of the year. Jessica's tuning in from Sellersburg. People are tuning in from Indiana. Violet from Scottsburg, Indiana. Same for you. 2 o'clock in the morning to 6 o'clock of seeing that line pass through. Again, level 3 out of 5 for southern Indiana. So that's the latest risk. I'm checking to see if we finally got that tornado watch, and no, we haven't, and we're not going to, I think, for another hour or two, because that convection is, I mean, we're waiting. Let me check this radar real quick, and then I'm going to end this Facebook Live. See, the convection that we're watching here is right along here, and then that's going to continue to track off to the east and then continue to develop over here. Once that happens, we'll probably see a tornado watch issued, but as of now, the convection isn't looking too significant for them to be issuing a tornado watch. But Chicago was getting some tornado warnings. In fact, that was a very interesting system that they got there. They actually had a confirmed tornado in the outskirts of Chicago. So this system is capable of producing some strong to severe storms. I hope you heed the warnings, and I hope you stay on top of the weather, and I hope you join us here at 11 o'clock on WHAS11 Night Team. I'll be here alongside Doug Profit and the night team, being able to show you the latest update. If we have that tornado watch, I'll show you that latest run of that forecast model, and also talk about what we're expecting if there's any changes. I think that's very important to stay on top of it with updates when we have a system of this significance. The best we can do at this point is go to bed knowing that you need to have multiple ways to receive warnings, and maybe set your alarm to check what the radar looks like around 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning in those communities in southern Indiana and around Louisville. I want everybody to stay safe through this system, to not be too afraid of it. We are in this together, and it is going to be a significant system, I think, but the chances are of seeing something strong is possible at this point. So definitely heed the warnings, have multiple ways, charge your cell phone as well as have that charger in place, as well as a weather radio. It's always good to have multiple ways. I think we've learned this past week that cell phones, you can't always rely on them. So I hope you have a good evening and stay safe out there. I'm going to continue to watch the radar all night, and then our Chief Meteorologist Ben Pine will be here early in the morning tomorrow. Thank you for giving your trust into WHAS11 and tuning in. If you have any further questions that I didn't get to, you can go ahead and head to my Facebook page, Meteorologist Colleen Peterson. I'm doing nothing but watching this radar and watching those updates for you, so I have time to respond back. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope you have a great, safe rest of the evening and stay safe overnight.